Everyone, welcome to a special interview with one of the top figures in the industry. He has withdrew multiple payouts across prop firms and he also has been banned. Andrew, it's great to have you here. How are you today?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me. It was due, the interview with Funding Tips.
I know.
So yeah,
I'm glad you were good. Glad you were. I can't wait to hear your story. And I know that you had lots of interviews before, but for the audience who's watching you for the first time here, how did your journey of trading begin? Can you tell us about yourself a little?
yeah. So my journey began almost 6 years ago now. First started with binary options when I was like 16, 17, I think. Coming from sports background, so I was a professional basketball player. Got the discipline from that and started applying it into basically trading. And yeah, just spent like 2 years every single day, every single session studying the charts, trying to figure things out, and started slowly clicking in. And then yeah, funding companies were a big thing that helped me basically make money from trading. Yeah, just a very good opportunity. Yeah.
You played basketball? Was it professional?
Yeah, I was professional. I was playing for the national team also in Romania. So yeah,
Wow,
I have played for like 10 years. Yeah,
that's
quite a
quite
long journey.
interesting. Wow. Did you used to dream of a future in basketball, maybe NBA or something?
It started as a passion, and then as you grow older, not older, but like 17, 18, you realize you kind of need to make some money. So sports is not that a good way to make money, let's say. Basketball is not that. Yeah.
But then how did you stop playing basketball?
I had a very big injury actually. I kind of broke my back, so I stayed like 3 months in bed, couldn't move. And it was a very hard journey from there to basically recover and start playing again. So I decided it's not really worth it to spend maybe another year or two getting back into it. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Was it then you started trading?
Yeah, it was then when I started finding more about trading. Didn't really take it seriously. I started my own business. I had an e-commerce business, so I started that. But yeah, I also started slowly getting into trading. I discovered it, and then a year after that, I got into trading more seriously.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear about your injury, but as you were talking, I realized that maybe if it wasn't for the injury, you wouldn't get into trading this passionately.
Yeah, probably because that was a big switch into my mentality when I got injured, and I just realized it's not for me. Like I want to have a business, I want to make money, I want to live my dream life. So kind of
Maybe the
was a wake up call.
entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the goal always.
Oh, I guess life just directs
Yeah,
us.
life does. Yeah, yeah. I also have a saying: just follow whatever happens, because life does. If you have a set journey, life is gonna guide you. Things are
Definitely.
gonna happen. Yeah.
Definitely. If that life directs us to the path, so that's where we're supposed to be heading. So I definitely
Exactly. Yeah.
understand what you mean. Did you start with your personal equity in trading or did you start with prop firms directly?
No, at first I was training personal capital, so the IC
That's a
markets was
binary
back
option.
then. Yeah, yeah. Just I had not really, let's say, 5 figures in personal capital that I got from the business. So I used that to trade, grow it, and then yeah, decided to go into prop firm when they basically appeared. Let's say the first few. Yeah,
So can you say that you're one of the first traders who ever traded in
yeah, I'm
prop?
definitely yeah, yeah.
You
Just imagine
were.
I was trading. Yeah, when the max capital max account you could purchase was 100K. And you have like 5,
Wow.
10% profit target. So that's a while ago. And the profit split was 70%, 70-30%.
Wow, you're one of the founders, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Was
So I have
by now.
experience.
Yeah, you've had multiple payouts and made a decent amount of money in trading. And I know success is not a linear line, but at what point you think to yourself, all right, I think I'm going to do this for full time. How was your journey from being a beginner to realizing you can actually make something out of this?
That's a hard question because I've never been the type of guy to go through the traditional way, so get a job and all of that. I didn't really finish college or university, so there was no other option for me. It was just make money. So I had the e-commerce business. I was doing money online, so I started trading, and it's like it's only success, right? If you can find success, then you find a way to at some point find success. So yeah, when I got my first few big payouts, my first big profits, that's when I kind of realized, all right, this is a good way to build some money, some capital.
Wow. Was there any point in your trading journey that you were like, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore. It's just too hard. I can't recover from this loss?
Oh, trading wise,
Yeah.
there's been a few hard bumps. There was a time 2021, I think, when the Russia-Ukraine war broke up, when I was long on gold. I was on my personal capital, so I was like, I had 30 something thousand dollars, and my basically gold wicked down. I was long. I was expecting 2,000, and it wicked me up, and margin called me by like 10 pips, and then started the rally to the 2,000 levels. Yeah, so that was a hard moment because I didn't have time to deposit more to basically, so that was one of the hardest moments when I lost around
Wow.
35,000 in one day. Yeah.
That's
But just I took a
incredible.
break. Yeah, I took a break for 2 3 weeks and started to go back. And then the other hard moment was a few months ago when I went through all the prop firm banning me, lost capital, went on a losing streak, but now it's better than ever. So after every time you go down, you just get up harder, right? You
I
just have
think
to know
life
that.
is also like the markets. After every correction, if the trend is up, you just go higher. So I
Yeah,
think that's
exactly.
how it is. Yeah, definitely. But let's talk about your experience with funding pips. You managed to secure two payouts with us, which is, I think, impressive. We can see
I'm
your
not sure.
first payout here.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think this is quite impressive. So I want to learn, can you share what made your time at Funding Pips different from your previous experiences in prop firms? Because, like I said, you're one of the first ones to ever trade at prop firms.
Uh, I think I have more. I have one more payout with you guys, and one more
Yes,
coming. So with that payout, it's gonna be 10K now. 10K
exactly.
payout with funding pips. Yeah, and I don't know how many challenges I got because my way of trading is just buy a lot of challenges and then basically pass them and use the funded accounts to get some money. So yeah, I was funded and I got the first payout. That first payout, I think, quite what time? What date was it?
The first one
Not
was
sure.
3K, and the second one is here on the screen. It's 2K, more than 2K, but I'm just lowering up the numbers right now. But you're expecting another payout with us.
Yeah, I got a 4K payout last week and expecting one more 4K payout this Friday. So that's
Wow,
gonna
that's
bring the total up.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's
the
amazing.
experience was good because I actually met the CEO. It's Khaled, I think Khaled is
Yeah.
spelled right. Yeah, I met him in Dubai and we chatted about the bands and everything, and he kind of showed the inside of Funding Pips, and I was like, all right, this is a good firm that actually cares about traders, which is kind of rare to find nowadays. So yeah, a week I got back from Dubai after talking with him, and then bought like 4 or 5 challenges and got max funded in like a 1 week or 2 weeks. So I have the 300K account, and yeah, now just trying to make some payouts. The experience is good. Obviously, the spreads are good and all of that. No weird rules, all of that I've had, and I've had some interesting denials and all of that, but it never happened. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I was meant to ask you. So far, you've had a remarkable career in the prop firm industry, but lately it's been clouded by you getting banned from two different prop firms. Can you start by telling a little about your first ban? What was the reason behind it?
The first one was basically because, like I said, my approach to challenges is just to risk 4% phase one and then maybe 2 or 3% phase two, just to pass as fast as possible to get a live account and use that to make some withdrawals. So they didn't like that. They made me wait for almost a month after passing. I mean, I passed and all of that took like a month. and they didn't want to give me the final account. They wanted me to reset to phase one. So I just made a Twitter post, and then they were like, "All right, you can't trade with us anymore. You need to delete it, or we're gonna make a lawsuit and all of that." So that was the first one. I've had a few more along the way that I didn't really talk about, but it's the same. It's the same thing. Just let's say I buy three challenges, I fail them, and then the next two I pass, I get funded. And then that's when, after I get the funded credentials, they're like, "Oh, we can't have you trade with us because you're a risky trader," right? So I lose the three challenge fees, and then I get the basically the refund for the two. So I'm negative on that platform, right? So that's not a good way, because if you're not liking my trading styles, then just refund all the challenges, or I don't know, just give me a heads up, right? So that happened to two, three platforms, and then the other one was the same thing. I lost a few challenges, got funded, was starting to make payouts, was starting to become really profitable on the certain platform, and obviously they found a way to basically not have me trade with them and call me a bad actor and all of that, while I was obviously respecting all the rules. So it just depends on the platform, right? Because some platforms have rules set in place to make you basically fail, or they start looking for things you did that are maybe not that, I don't know, what's the word, to basically refuse your payouts and not have you trade. But it's the risk in this industry, so we gotta move on. It
I
happened
can
recently also when I passed. Again, I had like two, three failed challenges. I passed the final account, and then they refused it, but at least they refunded all the fees. So I didn't lose anything, right? But it's still a waste of time, because you lose like 1 month, 1.5 months to get funded, and then you're like, yeah, we can't have you trade with us. So it's kind of annoying.
time
Yeah.
is actually valuable as money. So I definitely
Yeah.
understand your frustration. And for your second ban, there's also another subject that they also denied your wife's payout as well, even though you were
Yeah.
trading separately. Can you
Yeah.
tell a
Exactly.
little bit about that too, if that's possible?
Uh, yeah. So obviously the rules of prop firms, you can't exceed the maximum capital if you're in the same house, let's say same IP. So I wasn't. They banned me first. The reason for the first ban was that they basically didn't tell me. They told me about after like 2 3 months, but it was actually that I was a risky trader, so they didn't allow me to trade anymore. And so she got funded. Obviously, max capital, different device, and everything was because I have like 5 6 phones in the house that I used to trade. So it was an old phone that I wasn't using. There was no trading accounts on them. But that phone actually apparently was used on one of my accounts at that specific platform, but it wasn't used at that time, right? So I wasn't funded. I wasn't trading at their firm. She was trading. She was taking different trades. She took like 3 4 trades in the span of a month, made a lot of profits. And yeah, basically they said because we are the same IP and I used that device 3 4 months ago for an account, she can have her payouts, and she got banned also. So it's just
Wow.
excuses, right? It doesn't make any sense if you think about it. It doesn't make any sense. So I
Wow.
was within the rules, but apparently, yeah, doesn't work that way, right?
I can only imagine an experienced prop firm trader like you can actually follow the rules because you get the drill,
Yeah.
you know a lot of different prop firms, you experience them all. So I can understand that you actually follow the rules. But definitely, do you think your profitability played a role in your bans? Like you were like,
Yeah, yeah,
you're profitable.
obviously, because with my trading style, if I lose a few challenges, I lose some starting money, and then when I start going to the break even and profit phase, obviously that's not a good sign for a lot of platforms that don't use the data or don't copy trades and all of that. So obviously, it's a thing. I'm happy. I mean, I'm surprised that platforms haven't used that ban to also ban me, because that's what happened with other guys. But there was no reason to ban. When that happened, I asked every CEO that was trading with, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't have any issues with you, right? So if 9 platforms don't have an issue with me, why does one have, right?" So it
I
just raises
definitely
some
understand.
questions.
What would you rather them to do instead of banning you with risky trades? What would you rather them to do with your trades, with your positions?
Maybe reduce leverage or reduce the account size, or I don't know, make something up. Because if you say I'm a risky trader, so there is a potential for me, because that's their excuse, to basically blow your capital. why not reduce my leverage or give me a lower amount to trade, right? Not just ban me and banish me, right? It doesn't make sense.
How did you
Doesn't.
personally deal with these losses? Because apparently, when they banned you, you also lost a lot of capital in funded, right?
Yeah, I lost around $1.5 million capital
What
and
kept
then
you
lost a
motivated
few.
during this time?
What? What I was
What's kept
doing?
you, yeah, what's kept you motivated during this time? You lost a lot of capital.
Yeah, I did. I did, and I lost a few more accounts after. I went into a losing streak, as I said. I wasn't really there. Uh, I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that expects the worst out of everything. So when I trade prop firms, I know that maybe there's a possibility my payout is not gonna get approved, or maybe they're gonna not have me trade. So I'm prepared for anything. It was tough because there was a period of 1 month, almost 2 months, where I wasn't really making any money from trading, which is a setback, obviously. But just focused, took a break, and now I'm back basically at the same, almost at the same level. Yeah,
That's great. So,
same
are
funding,
you
same funding.
currently trading with your own equity as well, along with prop firms?
At the moment, yeah, I'm trading one small personal capital just to build a track record, while I'm also waiting for some outside investment that's gonna come in basically December. So I build a track record for 3 months. I also have that set for 1st of December or something like that, and then I'm gonna go into private basically capital and grow from there for the next year, but also trading prop firm at the same time, obviously.
Because why not? it's
Yeah,
it's
why
it's a
not?
good
Yeah.
way to increase your own equity. So I definitely understand. So bans from these prop firms often raise questions about the ethics in the industry, and some people argue that prop firms should be more transparent in their decision making. What are your thoughts on the ethical aspects of prop trading, but from a
Uh,
trader's perspective? From your
It's
perspective.
so bad. It's so bad. Like it's platforms want you to lose. That's the basically the system that this business works on. We've seen it with MyForex funds, the case, and all of those platforms. Most of the revenue comes from failed challenges. So that's a fact that every platform should be transparent with. It is, and also finding profitable traders is a hard aspect. So I understand that. You can't really give your real capital to traders, any trader, right? You need to see some kind of track record, or I don't know, some profitability, some stats in order to allocate them real life capital, right? Capital trades. So transparency is a big one because platforms they need to be transparent about stuff. Before the MyForex funds case, everyone was like, "Yeah, you're trading real funds." You know the story, and now everyone is like simulated and demo and everything. So why not be transparent about things? Transparency, and also if you are actually looking for traders, for profitable traders, then give some favorable conditions for them. Because I've seen my performance on some brokers or prop firms that you can clearly see they have some type of plugins that manipulate spread, slippage, and all of that. And I've seen my results on prop firms like this one, where you don't really have that. You have proper execution as long as you don't go like 50 lots or something crazy like that. You have proper conditions. You don't get slipped. 2 pips on entry, 2 pips on stop loss, and all of that, which messes with your head. So have favorable, good conditions for traders, and yeah, that's the only thing. Payouts on time, not have to worry, and a lot of transparency. As I said, if a trader breaks a rule or something, just email them or ask them why they did that, right, or what happened there, because some people make mistakes. I've made mistakes, maybe went above max lot size or trading news when I wasn't supposed to. But yeah, just give me a warning and find a favorable, basically solution for that case, which you don't
Oh,
really see. Yeah, yeah,
that actually makes a lot of sense. Instead of banning instantly someone, so just why not talk to them and learn the depths of the
yeah,
subject to maybe try to fix it? Definitely get
yeah,
it. So I was going to ask you, how do you pass your challenges so quickly? But I think you just mentioned it
yeah,
before. I was going to ask you, do you have a secret sauce? But you mentioned that you risk 4% on your over your trade. So
yeah.
some people would say that this is a lot, but how did you come up with the solution by risking 4%?
I kind of started thinking about prop firms as a business. So if this is a business, you're obviously gonna have expenses, and then you're gonna have some assets that produce you income or money, right? So the funded account is like a passive asset that produces your money. So if you have a profitable trading strategy that brings you, let's say, 2% a month with a good drawdown, you just use that to basically trade the funded accounts, and then your goal as a trader or a CEO or whatever you want to call yourself is to bring more capital in, right? So you need to invest some money in that. So that's why now I figured instead of trading one challenge, let's say one 300K challenge or one 300K challenge, I'd rather buy three 100K challenges and just go find a good high probability setup, at least 4%, pass it in one trade, and then the same thing for phase two. So my goal is to get the funded accounts as fast as possible, have that capital, and then use that capital with a low risk, my actual trading strategy, my actual trading system, to just make 1%, 2% every payout. That's more than enough. Even 1% is enough, right?
I know if you have a couple of $millions of funded capital
Yeah.
aside, then 1% can make you a good living in
Yeah,
anywhere in the
especially
world.
if you make that 1% very easily, one trade, right? One trade in 2 weeks. Anyone can do that, right? So most people think about it wrong. They're like, I need to make 5, 10% a month, which is
No.
very, very stressful. Yeah, instead just make 1% a month and focus yourself on bringing more capital. If you have, let's say, 20K in payouts for that specific month, just use 5K or 6K to get more capital, right? Get more
Wow.
challenges and get more capital. Yeah,
I think that's a
very
very
smart.
nice way to look at. Definitely. So increase your funded capital and decrease your goals in terms of
Yeah,
profit, and but still you'll make good money. How much funded capital do you have right now? It That's all right for you to answer.
the moment I am at 4.1 million,
And
so the
what's
highest
your
was
goal?
5.5.
Wow.
So the highest was 5.5. Yeah, my goal right now is maybe reach 5 by the end of the year. I think that's more than enough. Even 4 is more than enough. Because as I said, after the bans and all of that, I kind of focus more on trading the funded account. So maybe increase my targets to 2, 3%, not just 1%. But now that I've made some good profits, I'll probably invest some into more challenges. So I should get back. But it's very difficult to find prop firms now. So once you're funded with all the top ones that pay, don't have any issues, it's kind of hard to find different ones. It's a risk, right? Because that's what happened to me. I risked last few weeks 2, 3 new prop firms, and same thing, passed it, and then I couldn't trade with them. So it's very difficult and stressful. So I'd rather just stay here and maybe hit the scaling plans a few months,
Are you
and that's
aiming
it.
for the maximum allocation in all of those prop
Yeah,
firms? Because
it's max
to
allocation. Yeah,
increase capital that much, you have to, I guess.
yeah, max allocation. Yeah. So it's hard not to find only platforms that only allow 100K or something like that. It's like,
Oh, you need more prop firms, I can tell you that. So
yeah, so that's why I'm going through the track record stuff and just get more capital from there. It's obvious. I kind of reached a high level in prop firm, so there is no really any more room to go up from here, except scaling plans that I'm starting to also hit. So that's a good increase, like 25% increase in capital. So that's good.
that's still good if you have millions in capital. So I think that's
Yeah,
still good. Still good.
yeah,
As I understand from your socials, you love supercars and own one yourself. Is there any
yeah.
more left for you to accomplish? You have the cars, you have $4 million of funded capital. What are your future
Well,
dreams?
you need a few $1 million in cash, right? No, but yeah, obviously the materialistic stuff doesn't really impress me. I'm all about the skill. So my next goal is to get the private capital route and get the highest level there. And yeah, it does get kind of, not say boring, but it's like, yeah, what else can you actually do? So just travel, planning some holidays, maybe potentially move from the country, move from to Dubai. So that those are the bigger goals, which does require a lot more work, right? So yeah, the material stuff, I kind of went over it. Doesn't impress me. When I first started, obviously I was like, yeah, I wanna get a supercar and it's gonna get nice, but it's just the social media aspect of it. It's not really that interesting, right? It's not really that. Yeah, it's fun, but it's a lot of stress. It's unnecessary stress. Yeah.
So having a McLaren is stressful.
Yeah, it is because you always get errors, so it's you gotta take care of it. So it's yeah, it's an added stress. Now the cold weather is here, so you can't do anything with it. It just sits there. So it's just
This is
added
great
stress.
to
Yeah,
know. This is great.
yeah,
I know what car not to buy. So
yeah. No, yeah.
which
We need to be
direction,
practical.
yeah, which direction your life would head if you weren't a trader? Or maybe would you go with basketball, or do you have any other majors that you are so passionate about?
Not really, to be honest. I was just passionate about basically making money. That was my passion and developing myself also. I was a very big fan of psychology, business. I kind of, when you're young, when I was 18, 19, I was very hungry for success, hungry to find things out. I was spending the whole day researching. Now I don't really have that anymore, which kind of sucks. But everyone goes through that, right? A different career path. I don't know. Maybe just keep trying businesses until something worked good. Where I couldn't see myself doing anything else because
Oh,
I like to create stuff. I like to work. I like to, I don't know, just grow every year. Yeah. But trading is a very good way. It's just perfect for me, right? Because it's a very individual skill, and also you always have room to grow, right? There's always a new level to hit. So it's the perfect job.
the only limit is your psychology and maybe the funded capital that you have, but other than that, it's a thing that you can always outgrow yourself, and you are always in competition with yourself. You don't care about the others in the market. You don't, maybe sometimes you don't even care about what the institutions are doing. You're just in a competition with yourself. So I get what you mean. I also
Yeah.
have two questions related your advices the traders. Like, imagine someone just starting trading. They see this online beautiful life, this fancy cars and fancy houses, but and they want the same. What would you recommend those traders who are just beginning their journey to start with?
Well, first of all, is expectations. They need to know how to set their expectations. So I'm a very big fan of setting low expectations, and then if you go over them, you're gonna be happy. If he doesn't hit them, then you're just all right. That's okay. So expectations. Just know that social media nowadays is very fake. It's manipulating you to basically become a client. So try to avoid social media. Find some proper um, if you want to become a trader, find some traders that relate to you. So something that you can also achieve. That's a big thing that I say. Don't look for mentors or traders that are trading, let's say, on an offshore broker and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. Just look for someone that's doing the numbers that you want to be doing and something that you can also achieve. So that's a good way with prop firms because everyone can get at this level, right? And just focus on chart time. Focus on watching the charts. Don't look for the secret magic strategy that doesn't exist. You can be profitable with anything. It's just a matter of testing your strategy on one single pair at a time. So for me, when I started, I was only trading gold. So I traded gold for like 2 years every single day, and then I slowly transitioned to Euro USD, GBP USD, and basically that's it, right? So only three pairs that I'm trading, and I achieved this kind of results just by trading two or three pairs. But I spent years every single day on those specific pairs to learn about them and see how they move, when they move, why they move, and so on. So it just focus on one pair at a time, find patterns, find something that works, and create a trading plan, trading strategy, but not trading strategy, but trading plan and a trade management plan, and also risk management plan, right? Because every setup is different. And from there, after you spend time, yeah, just look for capital, and that can be done multiple ways. You can go to the trade demo for 6 months, have a record, use that to get some money. There's so many ways to get capital now. We're just prop firms, right? Just go to the prop firm board. But the skill is very important. But people don't want to spend 1 or 2 or even 3 years watching the charts, right? They want to get it in 6 months. But Doesn't work that way, does it?
It's the social media, I guess. People see
Yeah.
something and they want to get it so quickly. You mentioned that you've been trading gold for over 2 years now. So this actually makes me question: Are you a day trader, or like, do you trade lower time frames, or do you trade higher time frames? For someone who is starting new, well, which one would you recommend?
Obviously, I'd recommend higher time frame. That's obviously the best. But once you gain experience, you can trade on any time frame. So I'm a day trader. I like to trade during London Open, New York Open, New York Session. I like to trade the, let's say, 1 hour, 50 minute, 5 minute time frame, as most profitable traders do. But also keep in mind the daily time frame, the 4 hour time frame, even the weekly and the month. So I look at everything to get my bias, and then basically based on the higher time frames, I identify my targets on the lower time frames. So let's say I want to take a buy on Euro USD, price gets into profit. Depending on the higher time frame, I'll see how I manage the trade. If it's counter trend or if it doesn't have a higher time frame target, I just take my profits, scalp it, and then if it doesn't, I can have those big trades. So it depends. On some accounts I scalp, I just take quick trades in and out, take 10, 15 pips, one to ones. And on some accounts, I do catch some big moves and I let them run. It also depends on the accounts, how much profit I'm in, if I want to let the trades run. So that's why I'm saying trading at this type of level is a lot of work because you need to manage things. You need to manage capital, you need to manage accounts, profits. So now, let's say, for example, I'm in profits on all the accounts. If I'm taking a trade, I'm probably going to let it run more and secure some extra profits. But if I'm not in profits, then I'm just going to look for quick trades to make some profits and secure the payout. Right. So it's just, yeah,
Oh, I
it's a
think
lot
that
of
makes
work.
a lot of sense. And
Yeah.
I think what you're saying comes from experience too. Like for someone to know exactly what you're talking about, they have to study maybe a lot more to reach this mindset. So I think trading is
Yeah.
more about this mindset. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for someone who is trying to be a good trader, they're taking so many courses, they're buying so many courses, they're having mentors. Maybe sometimes they get scammed, but they can't reach that line where they can make money out of trading. What would you recommend to those traders instead of just educating themselves or getting a mentor, getting someone who is in the same mindset, still can't do? What would you recommend to them?
Well, obviously, then it's a personal problem, right? I've been through there, so I know. I'm always talking from experience when it comes to psychology. That was a moment for me when I kind of switched my mind around and figured out, all right, is the trading strategy good? I understand the market, kinda. Let's say I kinda understand it. I kinda make profit, but the problem is in my mindset. So usually problems, psychology problems that most traders have that can go above the break-even line. Also, a very important thing is traders' first target for traders is to be break-even. So not profitable. You need to aim to be break-even. So if you're taking 20 trades in a month, just try to become break-even, right? Not lose money, be break-even. And then from that point, you're gonna slowly get profitable. Um, but yeah, the thing is just mindset, right? Most people are over trading or over leveraging because maybe they don't have money, maybe they look at trading as a way to make money. My advice is to always have something on the side, so always have an income on the side. So if you have a job or maybe another business, focus on that and use trading as a side job, let's say side hustle, until you can actually become profitable. And try not to be so make it or break it, right? I see guys being so stressed out. Oh, I can be profitable, and then you ask them, how long have you been trading for? Like 6 months. So give it time, and as I said, focus on what works, but also focus on discipline and consistency. I always say these two things, right? Be disciplined, do the same thing every single day, and be consistent in it. So as I said, trade the same pair, trade the same setups, the same patterns, the same hours, same time, same risk and everything. And if you do the same things over and over again, I guarantee you're gonna see some success. And I know this because I've mentored a lot of people, and that's the usual way to go about it. And just don't be desperate. Don't be desperate to make money. Right? Let
Oh,
the market come to you.
That one actually was a really good suggestion. Don't be desperate to make money.
Yeah,
And when you said about trying to break even your capital, I think it's the survival mode. Don't try to make
yeah,
money,
yeah.
try not to lose money, try to be at break even. I think that's a good mindset that people can actually learn from. Thank you for all these advices. I think our
Mm.
viewers will benefit them a lot. So in
Hope so.
conclusion, I want to ask you, is there anything you'd like to say your supporters or your critics or the trading community as a whole? If you could give just one message to whole trading world right now, what would it be?
Just try to not throw hate at other people. Try to be united. When I got into the Twitter space like half a year ago, I discovered like the better part of trading. You don't see the social media aspect of it. It's just value and everything. When you're like forming a community, you can meet each other, so that's really really nice. But try to push away those gurus from the trading space. So don't give them any attention, don't give them any of your money. And you know who I'm talking about, the obvious trading guru. Stay united and look for as much information as possible. Obviously, I really appreciate everyone that's been supporting me. Also, just have a positive energy, right? If you have a positive energy, it really helps. I do have a lot of haters, like anyone, especially when you start getting more success. People always have something to they're not happy about, right? But that usually comes from their inside, not what I'm doing. So I understand that and I try to ignore it. But yeah, my advice is just don't give up on trading. Try to make it work. Give it some time on the side. Don't just do trading. Do something else. Develop yourself. Work on yourself. But do give trading a chance, because once you really achieve this skill, you can make some good money. Like making money from trading is better than everything, right? Just imagine working a job for like, I don't know, it's insane the world we live nowadays, giving away, let's say, 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day of your time for, I don't know, $2,000-3,000 a month. That's just crazy for me. It's just insane because just try to make this skill work. It's a very good way to make money. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Those were really good suggestions. And you always wanted to be some kind of businessman or an entrepreneur, however you call it. But I can see it in your conversation. So I'm definitely
Hmm.
happy for you about where you are right now in life and trading as well. Thank you for being here today. And thank you for answering our questions and helping out, guiding our traders too. And I hope
Thank
to
you
see
too.
you
Yeah,
in another interview. Maybe you become a
yeah,
hot
for
seat
sure.
trader in funding pips.
What's
Then
that?
maybe
three
we can
months?
have
3 months of profitability?
it's 4 months after 16
4 months.
payouts, but yeah.
Well, I'm definitely gonna get there. Yeah, it's gonna be my
Uh,
goal.
I'm saying this because you said about scaling and how important it
Yeah,
is for you because you don't want to mess with more prop firms. Maybe you don't want to just stress over it. So just maybe scale what you have. So I think
yeah,
that's a good opportunity too. And I hope to see
definitely.
you when you get the hot seat, Andrew. It's so nice to meet
Same,
you.
same. Thank you so much for having me.